understand a couple of things, right? Where is the structural lows and where are the structural highs? So I always start off by understanding the market structure. And so to give traders some more context on this, right? We had a structural high over here, then we had a pullback, and then from here we had a structural high over here. So there is my breaker structure, right? So nice and simple, we have a structural break. And so the way that I want to, understand this is that we have, a high producing over here, we had a low, then we broke this high over here. Perfect. That is the first step to, understanding any market. Now, once we have that, what we're looking for is, if I just replay price a little bit, right? I'm going to be going over a little bit of a price action case study review. I want all the traders on the S&P 500 to go and review. This is the 7th of August. So once you have that in place, we want to understand our dealing range. And so our dealing range is the most recent low to the most recent high. And so the way that I like to explain this to traders is that all of this is internal structure. You need to understand where the most recent high and low is, so you can then understand the premium and discount, and then you want to be choosing the right fair value gap. And so this video is going to be dedicated towards choosing the right fair value gap. So let's just kind of mark this out. So we have this structural low down here and we have this structural high up here. So this is our dealing range. So anything in between this dealing range is indeed internal structure, and you really want to be ignoring the internal structure, right? It's just noise. You want to ignore the internal structure, right? So that is step number one. So I'm just going to mark this out. Step number one is structure or market structure. Step number two is the dealing range, right? So step number two is the dealing range. So what is the dealing range? The dealing range is what I just showed you, right? It is the most recent low to the most recent high, just like that, right? Just from here to here. Most recent low to the most recent high, right? What is step number three? Step number three is PD arrays. And so the PD arrays, or the premium and discount arrays, simply represent two sections of the dealing range, right? It represents the discount and the premium, right? So look at how I've done that. The fib tool is used and abused by almost every trader I've seen, right? So if you're not using premium and discount to understand where your fair value gaps are, you're not really trading. You're a chartist. You're somebody who uses the fib tool to think you are trading instead of using the fib tool to understand how to trade. They're two different things, right? Using the fib tool as a chartist and understanding when to trade with the fib tool are two different things, right? So make sure you get this right. Now that we have the premium and discount arrays over here, so anything above